Hello my amazing viewers, welcome back once again to Pig Farming Academy. Earlier today I was going through my comment section in one of the videos I dropped. Then I discovered that one of my amazing followers commented asking me to make a video on the feed, that's the feeding aspect of my pigs, what I make use of in feeding my pigs, how I manage to go around the feeding sector when it comes to pig farming business. So in today's video I'm going to be doing justice to that question. I'm going to be breaking down the components of what I give to my pigs, why I make use of them, and then the nutritional values, and then how I managed. I'm only going to give you as a bonus tip how I managed to reduce the cost of feeding these animals. So guys, please pay attention. If you are still into this amazing channel, make sure you subscribe and equally get ready for the next updates I'm going to be dropping. I'm going to call my number right away so that you can be able to message me if you have any question regarding the pig farming business. 080-588-11642. That's my number. Message me, send your questions, I'm going to give you a response. So when it comes to the feeding aspect, I can assure you that any farmer, whether experienced or beginner, once you get this aspect rightly, you have given yourself an edge when it comes to the pig farming business. There are factors I normally tell people to consider before they go into formulation of feed. The first one is the budget, right? You need to ask yourself, yes, I know that the aim is to get rich nutrients, right? Rich nutritional food for my pigs. But I need to consider my budget to one. That's the first thing. The second one is, can I get this feed in a good quantity? You won't go and say, okay, because this feed is rich, but is it something you can get again and again and again and again? Because you need sustainability to be able to succeed in this business. The third one is will this food meet the nutritional value of my animals? Does it contain the required nutrients? So when you consider these factors, the budget, the consistency, yes, the nutritional value, once you consider this thing, then you can be able to formulate your own feed. What I always emphasize on this is that why I'm not quick to tell you what I make use of is because most pig farmers make this mistake. Most channels can just be like, okay, I make use of PKC, I make use of this, I make use of that. But once you understand the aspects of how to formulate this feed, you can be able to formulate the feed in any location you are. Whether you are in China, Malaysia, anywhere, you can be able to formulate the feed because you now understand the concept behind it. So when you now go on market research, go to your market area, ask them, okay, can I check for the things you can find in large quantity and consistently. Then you can now be able to formulate your energy giving food, your protein giving food, your vitamins, your minerals, your fat and oil. Once you now get the supplements and then add to it, you have made a complete meal. I'm going to be breaking down into sections all these nutrients I mentioned, how I manage to derive them, how I manage to equally reduce the cost of protein when it comes to the pig feed formulation. But before I go ahead to break this into sections, I'm going to offer you something that when you get this, it's going to change the way you see pig farming. You know, like I always say before, I started pig farming business after my work examinations. As a young boy that I was able to strive into this business, get the necessary things, learn the necessary skills. I established my own pig farming business after my work examinations. I was around 20 years of age then. That was how young I was, right? So it was not an easy journey. I passed through a lot of challenges, a lot of experiences I can't even mention. But amongst all these challenges, I was able to derive strategies that enabled me to succeed in this pig farming business up to this very moment. So then something came to my mind. I was like, people have been telling me, I've been coaching people, I've been teaching them how to go about certain diseases, how to raise their pigs effectively, how to breed. And I decided to, why not bring this knowledge into a book so that people can have access to it wherever they are in the world. That was what led me to publish a book titled The Pig Farmer's Journey. So if you are still a pig farmer out there, please, I'm going to beg you, make sure you get this book, The Pig Farmer's Journey. I'll be dropping the link of this book in the description box of this video. Go over there and get a copy. Also, if you cannot use the link, message me through WhatsApp 080-588-11642. Get a copy of this book and better your farm. It contains the breeding sectors, the feeding sectors, any sector you can think of, the drug sectors, even how it's a story. It's also a story. So this book teaches you pig farming from the eyes of someone that has done it, not just a random technical manual that will tell you to bring this, bring that, bring this. No, it teaches you pig farming business from someone that has done it. Exactly how it happened in my journey. That was how I narrated it in this book. So get a copy, implement the principles in your farm and better your farm, okay? So guys, when it comes to the carbohydrate, that's the energy section, there are so many varieties. It depends on your location. It depends on your location. You can decide to make use of cassava, maize, depending on what you can have access to. Because what I always encourage farmers, that's pig farmers to do, is try as much as you can to plant if you have enough space. This is my farm. I have enough land in my farm, so I manage to plant crops like cassava, plantain, water leaf, mention them. And this enables me to reduce the cost of feeding these animals. If you keep on buying these products from the market, no, it's going to chop into your profits in a certain kind of way. So when it comes to that energy giving food, make use of that cassava or maize. You can mix them half-half, or you can just use one section. I normally prefer making use of cassavas due to the fact that I have it in the larger quantity, right? That's what I normally prefer making use of. Then when it now comes to the protein aspect, protein is quite expensive. We can agree to that. It's quite expensive. So when it comes to protein, what I normally do is one, I make use of Bambara nut chaff, which is a source of protein for them. Then, but that's not enough protein for them. But I can get that one in large quantity. Remember what I told you? Consider the quantity, right? If you can get it in large quantity. That Bambara nut chaff is the consistent one. It's one I can always find. I'm always sure that I will get it because it's in large quantity. It's always everywhere. Then soybeans, being expensive, but it is very nutritional. What I now do with soybeans, in addition to this, is now to serve it in a small quantity, or maybe space it out, maybe 4 times in a week or 3 times in a week. I prefer to prepare the soybeans with the wet method, where I just have to cook it in a pot with water, then serve it to these animals. That is what I do for the soybeans. Then when it comes to the strategy that I told you guys about, that helped me to reduce the cost of this protein. When my animals drop their droppings, that's when they remove their droppings, right? I don't just remove the droppings for growing crops. I package it in a moist environment that has a good humidity to enable these maggots to generate, to grow. When they grow, I can now then remove them, process them by washing with salt and water to remove pathogens, heating them up, drying it up, then using it to feed my fish, and equally using the rest to mix with the feed of my pigs, because it's also a good source of protein for all these animals. When you understand this concept, you can be able to understand that agriculture is a cycle. It's a cycle. It's self-sufficient, like I always say. It gives you only put it back, like it keeps on going. You keep on understanding that if you understand the principle behind agriculture, you will not spend a dime in raising your animals. So by growing crops, by using this strategy of the maggots, I'm able to reduce the cost of feeding these animals effectively, maximizing my profit. There are some periods of pigs that I would raise, I wouldn't spend much. I'm telling the truth, based on the fact that that's the period where my crops were already mature, and then my maggots doing well, all those things. And mind you, what I will get from the fish, I'll use them in growing crops. Agriculture is a cycle. So when it now comes to the bone meal, add bone meal, add blood meal. But when it comes to the blood meal, please make use of the dry method bone for the blood meal, where you have to heat it, dry out the water. That's how dry method works. Don't make use of the wet method. I have my reasons. So I'm trying to speed up. Okay, that's why I'm rushing the video. I'm trying to speed up so that the video will not be too long. So guys, when you understand this concept in the feeding sector, you'll be able to because your sole aim is to reduce the cost. I'm telling you the truth. Your sole aim of raising pigs is for you to be able to make profits. So you as a pig farmer, if for the pig after selling your pigs, you realize that you don't have a good margin, it doesn't really make sense. So I'm here to guide you on how to do this step by step. Remember to send me a message via WhatsApp to ask your questions in your location. I'm going to help you formulate the feed, because what I'm telling you now is based on what I have access to. Because your location, you might not have PKC. I have access to PKC here in a very good location. So PKC, Bambara nut chaff, blood meal, soybeans, cassava, then maggots. These are the major things that I make use of when it comes to the feed of my animals. Even maize, then other kitchen waste. But these ones are the ones I get consistently. So message me through WhatsApp, tell me your location. I can help you to formulate something that you can be able to find consistently. You can be able to reduce the cost by it being budget friendly and all those things. So guys, that is it for the feeding sector. When I get to my farm, probably this month, I will be able to, because I'm in school at the moment. I'm a student, like I told you guys. I'm studying medical radiography. I'm a final student actually in UNEC. So guys, when I get to my farm again, I'm going to do a physical video to show you guys how I mix this feed. Because how I mix the feed is that I would bring the PKC, I will soak it in water to stay for a period of time and soak up. That's I will soak the PKC today, for instance. Tomorrow is when I will make use of it. That tomorrow that I will make use of it is when I will now add other ingredients like the bambara nut chaff, also called osoba, the soybeans, the blood meal, mention them, all those other ingredients. Now what I will now add the next day and then mix it very well and serve it to the animals. Also, while feeding your animals, make sure you supply them with adequate water. This is going to help your farm. I believe that with this little explanation of mine, I've been able to teach you the concept behind the feeding aspect when it comes to animal production, especially pig farming. So guys, please, I'm ready to answer your questions in the comment section, and equally send me a message via WhatsApp 08058811642, and make sure you get a copy of the Pig Farmer's Journey by messaging me or by checking the link in the description box of this video. Get a copy, better your farm. Your profitability is my priority. Thank you very much, guys. God bless you all. I love you all.